Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Active Love Adoptions podcast. I am Alyssa, here with my mom, Heidi. And today we have Kayle Barney, who is kind enough to come on here and kind of share her story with us and her experiences with adoption.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
I'm glad to be here, actually. It's fun.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So you're in Park City right now, though, right?
We just do this trip with our friends every year.
Okay.
So we have been doing it for, 12 years-ish.
Oh.
So we just go up and get a VRBO together.
Yeah.
These friends that we've known since college.
Yeah.
So we're just on our way up there for that trip.
Oh, see, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, we live in southern Utah. So.
Okay. So it's not like you're going from states.
No.
You go from southern to the mountain.
To northern. Yeah. Just to get out and it's just far enough to get a babysitter for your kids.
I'm just thinking, most people do the opposite.
No. We're going colder.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going colder.
You want the colder.
Yeah.
Okay.
We usually go in the earlier fall, so it's not as
cold.
It's beautiful up there. We've done the coasters and it's so pretty up there.
I know. I love the coaster.
Yeah, we're going to go freeze.
So you can go again?
I think they're closed now. But we'll just go up there and
it's
freeze, because it's cold now. The leaves are gone.
There's snow. Has there snow up there?
I don't know. We just are on our way, so I don't know. We'll see what it looks like when we get up there.
Coming up.
Yeah, we're just on our way driving through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this worked out great.
Yeah. Well, where's your husband then?
He is detailing the car.
Okay.
Yep. You guys wouldn't get anything out of him. He's not going to talk on a podcast. Okay. No way. He'll chat your ear off in person, but on a podcast, no way.
He'd just be sitting there going,
yeah.
I defer to you.
Yeah.
Whatever she says.
Yeah. Whatever Kaylee says.
Yep. Okay. I'll stop talking. You can tell us your story, the beginnings of what led you to adoption.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't know how far back to go. I'll start with the day I was born. Just kidding.
Start at the very beginning.
I'll start at the very beginning. Yeah.
It's a very good place to start.
It's a good spot. Yeah. But my mom, when I was born, I was her first baby. And when I was born, she couldn't have any more kids. She had to have an emergency C-section, hysterectomy. And so anyways, after I was born, we adopted my little brother, Jace. Okay. And, that was just awesome. Adoption's just always been part of
your family.
My family. Yeah. It's just always been part of my life. And even in high school and stuff, I feel like I just had this gut feeling that I wouldn't be able to get pregnant or get pregnant easily. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just because I never saw my mom pregnant. I never saw, it just wasn't really part of my life. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, my brother was adopted when I was 6. And, so that just kind of started the whole adoption journey, I guess. Yeah. But I've always wanted to adopt. It was always something that I wanted to do. And even before I had gone to any doctors or done any infertility, when my husband and I were dating, I remember sitting him down and being like, I just have this gut feeling that I'm not going to be able to have babies of my biological children, And he was just like, great, we'll adopt. That'll be great. It'll be totally fine.
Cool.
So this hard conversation I was expecting to have was just
it wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
I'm in.
So that was great.
Yeah, that's
I think
good.
He went on he served a mission for the church in Africa, and he had he had seen so many adoption stories just from that. And I think he was just like, yeah, I would love to. Let's do it. So anyway, that's kind of what got us started. And then we got married, and about a year into our marriage, we still hadn't we didn't really try to get pregnant, but we weren't really preventing either. So I guess that's trying. I don't know. But we started to just kind of decide, should we go to a doctor? What should we do? I don't know. So anyways, I ended up going to the doctor, and they're like, you have to actually try for a year, put me on Clomid, all this.
Oh, they did.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway.
I know how you felt because I had that same problem.
Did you? Okay.
Yes. I mean, well, my husband always explains it because in his family, though, no one had adopted.
Yeah.
They didn't even basically know what that even meant and my husband's like, you go through life and you're told you get married, you have kids, that's just a natural progression,
especially here.
And nobody says wait a minute, you could have an issue when you're trying to start a family. There could be a problem.
Infertility.
Yes.
It's something that's not really talked about.
No, it's not.
No, you're a kid especially.
No. So with my family it was more commonplace, but with his they're like, no one. Yeah. So we threw him a couple because we said we're doing that and we're doing drug exposed, and they were African American.
Yeah.
So his family we threw it all at him.
I love that.
Right.
You know what? Yeah.
Just like, we don't care. We're going to just take it.
Good for you.
We switched it up.
You switched it up. That's so good.
Well, the funny thing I always tell people is that, which I love, is my husband's the only son.
Okay.
And his dad was an only child.
Yeah.
So we've changed, because I have 2 boys, we've changed the last name to now it's Black.
Okay.
Instead of being a Caucasian.
Yeah.
Now we get to change it to the...
I love it. I love it. It's so good.
I'm like, I love that. I love that.
I love it too.
that happened. But but the infertility is very difficult.
Yeah. I mean, like, but again, something in my gut was just like, you knew this was going to happen type of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Did you go through the Clomid and everything, though?
Yeah, I did Clomid for about a year and nothing was happening. And I was just like, let's just travel and we'll put this on the back burner.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd only been married a couple of years.
Yeah, so it wasn't a huge rush.
We went on cruises with our friends. We went to concerts. We just like
Enjoyed yourself.
had fun. Yeah, we just had fun together. We bought a house in Cedar City. And anyway, I don't know. We'd been married probably 5-ish years and we just decided like it's time.
Yeah.
And before we do anything else with infertility, we want to adopt. Like that's our first choice. So let's go all in with adoption. So we went to LDS Family Services. They were still doing it at the time.
Yeah.
We got like maybe halfway through the home study process with them. And then they announced they weren't doing adoptions anymore.
Really? Yes.
But they would pay for you to have a profile on adoption.com.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
So
yeah.
But that's how we found our daughter's birth mom.
Awesome.
But we tried it again, and it's just so many scams.
Now it's
But anyway, so we went all in on adoption, and we told our parents, and they were excited. Obviously, my family knows adoption more because of my brother, and so. But my husband, he's the youngest of 7 boys, and
big family.
He has a big family, but they all have like. At least from what I know, they all have been able to just have kids when they want to have kids.
Yeah.
So Andy's the only one, my husband, Andy, he's the only one that's like had to go through this in his family. So it's a little bit different, but they honestly just welcomed it with open arms. Like they were so supportive and so good. And
just whatever you want to do.
Yeah. We were just like met with so much support in the whole process. So, but we didn't really tell anybody we were doing the home study. And then all of a sudden we were like, hey, we're ready and we're doing this. Everybody get on board. Start sharing our profile. Thanks.
Get the feelers out there when you have the baby.
Yeah. So we just thought at that point in life, we were just like, there's no way we could afford to do an agency adoption. There's just no way. So we started the private route and the church was like, yeah, we'll pay for you to do adoption.com. So we put our profile on there and, we didn't really know anything about like open and closed adoption at that point. I just assumed it would be closed because my brother's has been.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just how it was.
Yeah. And that was, more prominent.
Yeah. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I knew. That's kind of what I expected. And then we went to, you have to get, you guys know,
the
you
home
have to
study.
get the home study and you have to have a certain amount of hours of like education,
Yeah.
So we went to this adoption panel where we got to hear from birth parents, adoptive families, and then adoptees.
And who put on the panel?
Utah adoption specialists.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've loved them. They just did our home study again before we realized Active Love could do it. But they did our home study. And I just remember being at the adoptee panel and listening to this like teenage girl. She was adopted and there were these 2 women in front of us. And every time this girl would talk, they would like put their arm around each other. They would squeeze each other's hands. It was just like, I'm like, I wonder what their relationship is. Like, that's so cute, And then when they got done, the girl just like walked up to him. They both hugged her. All got like emotional. But anyways, I was just like, I realized one's her mom and one's her biological mom.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I need that. Like, that is what I need. Like, that's what we have to have it. Yeah, we have to have that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but it was a little scary because you go through that training and they're talking about how like some couples would come on and be like, yeah, my kid will go have a sleepover with his birth mom. And I'm like, whoa,
that's a lot.
That feels like a lot, but,
Go get some.
sorry.
We should have brought the Kleenex.
No, you're fine. I'm just, I talk a lot and I cry a lot.
You're good. No, we want you to talk. No,
that's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was just like, it was so cute. She just was. It was just the cutest little relationship.
Yeah.
But it's kind of overwhelming to take all that in.
Well, yes, it would be because especially if you assumed it was still going to just be closed.
Yeah.
And the different degrees of openness that they have now. I mean, there's all the way to sleepovers.
Yeah.
Mackenzie that used to do the podcasts here. she's a birth mom.
Okay.
And so she, like Jessica, and she, sorry, these are like way down in there.
Thank you. Just make sure I don't fall over my face really fast.
But she has sleepovers with her son that she placed. Yeah. And her, she married the birth father and they have 4 other children.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting, actually.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be hard to know you placed one and then got married to the birth father. I mean, that would be hard to like grapple with, I would think, as a birth mom a little bit.
And her story, her and her husband both told their story on the podcast. That's like one of our first ones, but they weren't anything but just like hookups, to each other at the time. And she was young.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do things. And he wanted his son to have a father that was present because his dad wasn't. And that was really important. And he knew he wasn't settled down enough to do that. So
you have to know the seasons of your life and what you can and can't
right?
do.
Yeah, they were in college and stuff. And so they ended up going apart for a year or something. And then they came back together.
That's amazing. That's great.
So,
but they can have an open relationship with him. And that's
yes.
Like, incredible.
She loves the adoptive mom and stuff. So and they get, it's just like extra family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like another family member you invite. So, and that's
extended family.
And I think that kind of works a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it's easier too for the child, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, online.
You don't know, but.
No, online are close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're semi-open, but they don't have contact. Right. No, we don't.
Do you feel like that's hard? Like, has that been hard or you're okay with it?
Yeah, and that's just for me. That's just never something that I was like personally interested in because, like, like these are my parents. Like, I don't know these people,
right? Yeah,
but some kids really do need that. I work with the correspondence agency, and a lot of kids now that everyone's getting older, like wanting to like reach out and like get more information. So because it just depends. On the person.
And it's a little bit easier to find the information you need with social media and all the ways you can search now,
Well, and that's actually easier because we've had to come up with different documents because our contract is with the adoptive family and the birth parents. It's not with the child.
Right.
So we can't directly work with the child without permission from the adoptive family and stuff. So it's an ever-changing thing, and so I'm trying to get them to do that early on, not when the child's older. If they hit 18, that we can just automatically work with the child,
That's probably easier.
Make it a lot easier.
Yeah, it would make
it a lot easier, I'm sure.
If we just had it in the file, you know. When the child hits 18, you have permission to work with the child. You know?
That would be so nice if you could just already have it like set up like that.
Yes, it will make the job easier. Yeah,
because it's not like you guys are going to go seek the child out and push it. It's the child's going to be coming to you. So
only in that case. Yeah, only in that case, and have it in there so that.
We don't boundary there.
Yeah, because it's difficult because then we have to send out this form to them, and then we have to contact the birth family.
It's like a whole thing.
It's a long process, and sometimes you don't get.
Yeah,
you're like, we have one that there's not a lot we can help you with because
they don't want it.
The birth father wasn't even.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They want information with the birth father, and I'm like,
that's so hard.
I can't legally.
I can't give it to
you. But
it's really hard that you have the information, but you can't share it.
It is super hard. It's like I'm looking right at it. Like I want to help you. She was so sweet, but I'm like,
I bet that's heartbreaking sometimes.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, she'll call me. She's like, "Mom, I have this situation." I'm like,
and like I get it. Like as an adopted person, like if that is something that I would want, it's probably frustrating to hear oh no, we can't for sure. It's legal reasons, but
that's hard.
Well, I know, and they want to pass law that makes it so it opens the door for adoptive families. But, I mean, for the child, the adopted child.
Yeah.
But the problem is then you take the rights away from the birth parents by just automatically giving that information out. And
there are so many sides of it.
Yes, exactly. You can't take away one to give to the other. I mean, it's just there. It's a triangle.
It's a lot. Yeah. There's just so many different perspectives to think about, and you can't protect one without hurting the other. And,
And so it's a lot of paperwork we have to go.
gosh.
We have to okay, wait, we got to jump through this hoop and this hoop, and then we'll come back around.
Hoop, come back. Yeah.
We'll have to come back around to that hoop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll work it.
You'll do it.
Yes, yes. So, okay, so you were placed on the website.
Yes, we were on adoption.com. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
And you took the course. You got to the meetings and you listened to the...
Yeah.
And were overwhelmed.
Yeah. I was a little overwhelmed only because it was so foreign. Because I'm like, if I'm mom, what is she? Like, how does she fit in?
Yeah.
Like, how does the birth family fit into our life? Mm-hmm. And now, 7 years later, my perspective is like 1,000 times different than it was back then. But that's where you start and you learn.
Yeah.
So it's overwhelming at first, but it was good. And from the time I saw the birth mom and the mom sitting next to each other and the daughter just coming up and hugging them both, I was just like,
you knew
I need that. Like, I have to have it.
Yeah.
Anyway, like for me and for my daughter and for everybody, I just was like, I want that so bad. I want that for my child.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were on adoption.com and we were just getting scammed. Like, would not believe. Like, oh, well, you do believe, I'm sure, but of all people, you do believe.
You can tell me, I know.
I can tell you, but I don't know, probably 12 different.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if they were necessarily like scams, but definitely we would FaceTime a birth mom or whatever. And it would just, we would email, Utah adoption specialists. Have you heard from this birth mom? And they would be like, oh yeah, she's been talking to 4 other couples or whatever. So it was just stuff like that. And so that was like in November, December of 2016. And, so we had gone through, it was like March in 2017 when we were like, okay, we're going to take our profile down. At that point, we were paying for it ourselves. So it was like $500 a month-ish to have your profile on there. So I'm like, we got to take a break from this. Like it's a nightmare. Yeah. So it was like March, we decided we were going to cancel it. So we canceled it. It was going to go through the end of March and our daughter's birth mom found us. Later, we found out she found us like March 31st or something.
Oh, like on the last day
on adoption.com.
Right before it was going to go down.
Yeah. It was just like meant to be. Yeah. And you guys know, but like God is in the details of adoption.
Really
like
he is.
He's in the details. Yeah. So anyway, we met her. Well, we didn't meet her. We had just been emailing and she just introduced herself to us and said, I'm just not in a place where I can have another baby. She already had 3 kids and I just felt for her. Like, I just feel like from the time I met her, I just loved her. Yeah. Like, I loved her and I loved her kids. And that was before we even met, really. It was just emailing back and forth. And there would be times from, April when we started really talking to her till August when my daughter was born that like we would go a couple weeks without talking to her and you're like panicked and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
That's the hardest part. Yeah.
It's the hardest part. Yeah. But I don't know. We were just like, I felt like we were prompted to say and do certain things and like get the legal process started. We're doing it all on our own. So we have no idea what we're up to. Yeah. We don't know. We're just winging it. So every day I'm just like, okay, Andy, I really feel like we should email her this or her daughter was born in Arizona and we knew nobody in Arizona. Yeah. So I was like, who's our attorney? And I remember picking, like, I just Googled Utah adoption or Arizona adoption attorneys. And there was this one picture that popped up and I'm like, that's our attorney. We have to get her. Like that has to be who it is. And it ended up that she had placed a baby. And so when she went and talked to her birth mom,
it was perfect.
It was perfect. Like they just got along so well. And
because she had been there.
Yeah. She had just been there. And it was just things like that all through the process that were just incredible. I'm just like, I couldn't make this up.
No,
I cannot make this up. It's real.
The things that lined up.
Yeah. The things that lined up. But then there's always the tricky part with getting kids here in any way, I guess.
Yeah.
Because even when you're pregnant, you're like, anything could happen. Yeah. I could miscarry. I could whatever. But with adoption, she said she chose us.
Yeah.
And she like believes that I'm to be the mom of her baby. And that's like incredible. But there's still like this pit in your stomach that's just like, but she could change your mind, She could change her mind. But even from the beginning, like I read through my journals the other day just from that experience. And I just wanted to compare how I feel now with the adoption that just fell through versus how I felt with my daughter. And it was just like, I just knew that was my baby. I just knew that was my daughter.
Yeah.
Obviously in the moment, you don't know. Yeah. You're just like, I don't know what the crap I'm doing, but.
Well, you're going off of it had to be with the things that lined up. But I think in the back of your mind, you're always thinking that.
Cautiously optimistic, you know?
Yeah, because you want it so badly.
Yeah.
And if there's even a twinge that something bad could rip it away again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little rough.
It is. It's hard in a different way.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, all of it's hard.
Yeah.
Getting kids here in general, I think it's probably hard in different ways. But
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were just kind of waiting, honestly. But there was one night I woke up at 2 a.m. And I just felt like we hadn't started the legal process. So 2 a.m. I'm like, Andy, I'm like, wake up. We got to call an attorney first thing in the morning. I just feel this. I feel like we have to start it right now. And so we did. The next day we got Christy Blackwell, the Arizona attorney, and she was over at our birth mom's house the next day. And I didn't know at the time, but she had our daughter's birth father sign.
Oh, yeah.
And just that he had 30 days basically to say that he could parent or wanted to or whatever. And he didn't. And I didn't know. So anyway, she started that process. This was a month before our daughter was born.
Yeah.
And so we were out boating with our friends, just having a good old time waiting for our baby to be born. And we get a call and our daughter's birth mom was like, I don't dare say her name just in case.
Yeah, you're fine.
Anyway.
That's fine.
She was like, I'm dilated. And with my other 3 kids, I kind of went early. And this was 2 weeks before her due date. And so we were like, okay, we're going to Arizona. So we get off the boat and we're just packing all of our baby stuff in the car. And we're booking it to Arizona so fast because we didn't want to miss it. She wanted us there at the hospital. And so we were excited about that. But then
she didn't have, she went over.
Oh, yes. So good. Yes. So we got to Arizona. We met her in person. I'll never forget it. We went to dinner. We were like, you, both birth father and birth mother, come to this restaurant, meet us, bring your kids, and we'll just meet in person for the first time. And Andy and I got to the restaurant first, and we were just waiting in the waiting area. And she pulls up in her car, and I just I saw her and I loved her. I was just oh my gosh, I just love you. I just felt we know each other.
Yeah.
We know each other. Yeah. I know we know each other.
Yeah.
I know we were friends in the pre-existence.
Yes.
I do. And I loved even her birth father too. He just seemed really well-mannered and just easy-tempered. And it was just this connection with her birth mom though. And just I know you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that all went great. We ended up going to some Diamondback baseball games and just having a good old time waiting for the baby to be born. Went to a movie with her and just spent time with her and her family.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, see, that's nice though. I mean,
it was amazing.
Even though she didn't have the baby when you thought.
It was good.
It gave you the time to bond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And get to know each other beforehand.
But
that's amazing.
She when it is a week later, we're just staying in the Hyatt in Gilbert waiting and we're just what is happening right now? Just sitting here waiting. But
what'd you do about your jobs?
Well, we can both work remotely. So luckily we were both just in the hotel, working, waiting. No
as
harm,
long
no
as you
foul
have
there.
your laptop.
Yeah.
Good.
We were fine. Yeah. We were good. But our works, shout out to the Levitt Group and State Bank of Southern Utah. We love you guys. Anyway, thanks for letting us work from home. But I don't even know. Where was my husband working? Oh, he's working at the Levitt Group too. Shout out to the Levitt Group. You're the best.
Love that.
Anyway, I don't even know what I was saying. The Levitt Group. Oh, we were working from home waiting.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I have a doctor's appointment just to follow up. And they said, this was a week later. They were like, okay, if you haven't gone into labor, August 2nd, we'll induce you, And we were like, there's no way. Well, wait, clear till August. Cause this was middle of July, end of July-ish at that point, middle of July. We were like, there's no way we're going to go clear till August 2nd. Yeah, we did go till August 2nd.
Wow.
Oh, really?
So we were just hanging out in the hotel for 2.5 weeks, just waiting.
Oh my gosh, that's so hot.
I didn't dare go home because
did you know as soon as you went home?
I know. Yeah.
It's happening.
We didn't dare do anything.
No, you're like, we're not leaving.
No.
Unless we have that baby.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere.
No, so I'm not taking any chances.
We're not taking chances.
No.
So we stayed there. And then finally she went she got induced. And that morning she went into the hospital. I think the plan is for us to be, I don't know how much detail you want here.
No, I want
anyway, whatever you're comfortable with sharing, go for it.
Because it also helps other, people that are looking into adoption. It gives them kind of an idea of the different things that you could run into or that,
Yeah, it's all kinds of different things.
Right.
I mean, the plan was for us to just be outside the room when she was like in labor and giving birth and stuff. And then we would come in afterwards.
Yeah.
So we're standing outside of her hospital room door, and like her mom comes out and gets us and is like, she wants you to come in.
No.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Yay.
So you even got to meet her mom.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
like,
see, that's
because we had
amazing,
spent 2 weeks with them. Like
so you
her
got to
mom,
meet
her siblings, almost everybody in her family. And
That's great.
even birth father and his family, we met them. And so
is the birth father for your child is the same for her other 3?
no,
Different? Okay.
different. Yeah. She was just kind of at a different point in life. She was married before. And
Okay.
anyway, so, we just got to go in the room, and I just like, I got to stand right by her and just hold her hand, and it was just the best. Like, it was so good. And then immediately you're just panicked.
Yeah, I
You're just
know,
like,
right?
I love this baby. Like, this feels like my baby. But also, as soon as she was born, and birth father, like, he knows I love him. I love you. You know, I love you. But at the time, he was like, he was fighting the adoption. He was going to fight it. So it ended up being that his 30 days, that paper that he signed, he had 30 days. It ended the day before our daughter was born. So his rights were gone. So if she had gone in the 2 weeks that we were just waiting, he could have fought it and won. So I'm just like, oh my gosh.
It's in the details, right?
Yeah, it's all in the details. Like, so many little things like that just lined up beautifully.
Yeah.
And at the time you think, this is chaos. This is nuts. But then looking back, it had to be that way.
Yeah.
So anyways, he's fighting it, and we're just stressed that he's going to convince her not to sign relinquishments. And that's what he was kind of trying to do, is convince her not to sign, and that his parents would raise her and all these things. And so I'm just panicked. In the meantime, we have our own room at the hospital, and we have her. So birth mom's like across the hall, we're next door, and her kids are like running back and forth.
In between.
And just holding baby, and we're just wheeling baby back and forth like our daughter, and we're in her room, she's in our room. And some of my favorite days, I mean, I'm sure they were awful for her, but they're some of my favorite days because I just got to know her better. And we had so many cool experiences with her kids, and just, we both got to love on our daughter, like our collective daughter.
Yes.
Like, it sounds odd, but like,
no, it's
their
not
daughter
odd.
and our daughter, and we just got to like love on her together. And it was so,
that's amazing.
I just loved it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, but back, just side note, like back when we started adoption, for me to say like their daughter and our daughter, that even sounded scary back then. But then as soon as like I met them, I just was like, who cares if you have 2 moms and 2 dads? Like, more people to love your kid. Why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah.
But anyway, so we met them, he's fighting the adoption, and it was just chaos honestly. I was just, and I honestly wasn't, I remember having like a conversation with him, with birth father. I was just like, he's like, you don't know what it's like to feel like you're losing your baby. I'm like, I don't, you're right. But I do, because this feels like my baby. Like I cannot relate to you. I won't pretend to relate to you, but I feel like she's my daughter, and I feel what you're feeling right now, like in a small way. It feels like we're both about to lose something that we love. You know? So that was like just such a good conversation, because he kind of feel like how invested I was in his daughter. Like,
that you loved her.
That I loved her. And Andy loved her. And Andy and him had good conversations. And anyway, in the end, I just said her name anyway. It's fine. Birth mom, she ended up signing.
Yeah, I can cut it out.
I don't honestly think she'll care. But anyway, she signed, and that was just like her own like spiritual experience. She just got to be with her family when the attorney went to her house, and they signed, and we were at the hotel with baby and with our daughter, and it was just like so good. It all ended up working out, but
and the
dicey there for a minute.
And the birth father was okay with.
He was okay because he had to be. Like she had made up her mind. She believed, like she had a strong testimony that I was to be her mom and my husband was to be her dad. Like she just knew it at her core. So there was no going back for her. And so Tyler, I mean, he just had to get on board with it. So he did
have that opportunity beforehand.
He did. He did. Yeah, he for sure did. And I don't really know if he understood what he was signing necessarily. Like, I don't know if he fully grasped what he had to do to show that he. And I just don't know. I think it's different when your baby's actually born and in your arms, like you think you can maybe place, and then you realize like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like it
and that's the thing is with the birth fathers can be done prior to the birth of the baby because the father's not considered under duress.
Okay.
So a birth mom is under duress until having the child.
Okay.
And it usually has to be 24 hours as Utah. Mm-hmm. Every state's different. Mm-hmm. And they can't be on meds or anything when they sign. Mm-hmm. So
Arizona was 72 hours.
Yes. Yeah. So 72 hours after birth. But, so I think it would be harder on the mom, mm-hmm. The biological mom placing, mm-hmm. Because she carried the child through the whole period of time. And then they have to wait till after.
Yeah.
To place, and the birth father, it's just
yeah. I know. I just can't imagine like what they were both going through.
Yeah.
Like I mean, even with birth mom knowing what she knew and just feeling like I'm not her mom, like Kaylee's her mom, and Andy's her dad. And even all that, I still can't imagine what she went through and what she still goes through every day. It just never ends. Like it never ends.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's just hard.
I think that I've had people say, well, could you place your child if you were able to have one? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that's an odd place for me to try to put myself in because...
Yeah, I can't get in those shoes.
I don't. I go because I have had the opposite, know.
Those shoes don't fit our feet.
No. Doesn't.
They do not fit. No.
I'm like, you're talking to someone who's tried to have a child and wants one more than
years.
Anything. And I think the hard thing, too, is what being an adoptive parent is, an adoptive mom, is putting our life in someone else's hand and saying, am I good enough to raise your child?
Mm-hmm. Constantly questioning it.
And, and I think that that's a hard thing too, because you have to present yourself, in a way that someone will want to choose you to raise their child.
Yeah, I know. And every little thing you do, you're just like, are they going to be like proud of me for this? Are they going to be pleased with the way we're handling these different situations or whatever? It's kind of like always in the back of your mind. But I guess that's the beautiful thing about open adoption is, I don't know, I've had people be like, are you worried that she's going to go like get mad at you one day and be like, well, I'm going to go talk to my birth mom then. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, for sure, she's going to do it. I'm planning on it.
They hit those they hit those teenage years and everything's out the window.
Yeah, rough waters ahead. Like I'm sure, but I know that if I call birth mom, she'll be like, listen to your mother. Listen to your mom.
Yeah, like why are you talking to me about it?
Yeah, like I think she'll be loving, but she'll be like, I don't. Listen
but it's just mom. It's just someone else that cares for your daughter.
Yes,
and is going to talk to you about it.
Yeah,
and you can come to some type of right. Mm-hmm. I think that that's what I've seen, at least with this podcast and open adoptions. It doesn't always work, but I think that it's more beneficial when everyone can put their feelings aside and put the child.
Yeah.
And put the child in front of, everyone else. And they're who needs to have the attention. And
do what's best for them.
Yeah. Do what's best for the child. And it works well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. As long as you can just set your own like insecurities aside and your own, all of that and all of it. And when we started, birth mom, she wanted a closed adoption. She just wanted it to be closed. And I just told Andy, I'm like, if I can convince her otherwise, I will.
Well, if you can just have them do a little open.
Even a little. Even just a little.
Opens it all up. And when I used to take the adoptive family lines, and now I do this stuff on social media, but I would always tell the adoptive families, I'm like, I would suggest you go a little open, because if you go closed, that door's shut.
It's shut.
That we can't do anything. So if the birth mom called and said, we found that this is running in the family, can you let the adoptive family know? No, we can't. It just stays there. Yeah. So
just keep it open.
Yes. Yeah. Even if you don't want to contact them all the time, because with openness, there's such a different degrees of openness. But closed, it's
game over.
Yeah. So just do a little. Just a
tiny bit, yeah.
And then you can go from there, because over time, and the more you get to know the people, Sounds like that's what happened with your birth mom.
Yeah. I mean, we spent 2 weeks getting to know each other in person. So
that's true.
It was like, you really want to say bye to me? I'm cool. Like, you know that I'm cool. We're hanging out. Like, I'm fun to be around.
I'm fun,
It's not just our daughter. It's like, really.
You do.
I cannot lose you. Like, please, I cannot lose you.
2 weeks is a long time.
And just all those months of emailing back and forth before too. It was just everything. So I just was like, I don't want our daughter to lose you, and I don't want to lose you. I need you in my life. So I coerced her. Like, please just do this. So,
and I bet she's glad though.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope it seems like it. Yeah. But, and it was the same thing with, birth father. I obviously wanted that door open with him too. I wanted it open just in case she ever wanted it, but I knew he was fighting it, and I knew he was probably a little upset at us at the time. But even the day we left Arizona with her, papers were signed and ICPC had passed and all that. We went to a big Sunday dinner at her parents' house, and he came and his parents came, and I was just like, you guys, we could do this. Like, we can really do this. Like,
make this
we
work.
can keep this open. Yeah. Like, you guys don't even have to stay together.
Yeah.
But just
keep that door open.
Be in your life.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, we left, and his parents, birth father's parents, texted us on the drive home, and they were like, we got your number from birth mom, and we just want to know if there's any way that you could even just send us like a letter once a year. Like, we just want some updates, you know?
And you're like, I can do that.
Yes. I'm like, yes, I'll do you one better. Like, I'll just, here's my number. We can text. I'll text you whenever you want. You know?
That's amazing.
And
do you still have that relationship?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like wide open, but we, it just starts small, you know, cause you're just trying to navigate like a different type of relationship.
Yeah.
And so you're like, where does everybody fit?
Yeah.
And I even remember getting home and getting a text from birth father, and he was like, hey, can I see like a picture of our nursery? That will be fun for me to see, you know? And I'm like, sure, here's the picture.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I wish like I could come there and we could paint a wall pink or something. And I'm like, even that little of a comment, I'm just like, oh crap, am I doing this wrong? Like, am I not raising his baby the way that he want, you know? But just the wall in our nursery. So, but I quickly realized you just can't live in that headspace.
Yeah,
you just have to be the mom that you want to be, and be the dad that you want to be, and just, you know.
But you do have to set your own boundaries.
You do.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
But it's better that way on both sides, right?
I think so too.
Yeah.
So it's a little rocky. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It was just trying to figure out this new.
It's just going on uncharted waters, right?
Yeah.
And you just learn as you go.
Yeah. But we just stayed in contact with everybody, really.
Yeah.
And that's like, sorry.
No, you're good.
That's like a little overwhelming too. Just, I'm mostly saying this for new adoptive parents getting into it, I guess, but it's just overwhelming to be like, okay, I'm a brand new parent. Like, this is my first baby. So I'm already like, what am I doing right now? Like, what is happening?
Can I ask you how old you were?
Yeah, I was 27, almost 27.
Yeah. So you're still young.
I'm still young. I'm still young. Yeah. I mean, we've been married. First adoption, first baby.
Yeah.
First everything.
And I'm like trying to maintain relationships with
how do I do this?
Everybody. Like, just everybody.
It would be overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. Yeah. It was a little overwhelming. Yeah. But I had somebody tell me in those early days, like, the relationships that are the hardest to maintain are the ones that are the most worth it, you know, the most rewarding, the most worth it. So I just went with that, and we just pushed on. And anyway,
did you make that sign and just have it in your home?
I should get vinyl on my wall, huh? Yes, that's what I should do.
A good reminder.
That's right.
Something to whenever,
especially now that you're going for a second child.
Yes. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
We have a family that's adopted 3 through us, and they have that relationship with each one of their birth moms.
I love that.
In fact, they get together once or twice a year. Well, they just got their third, but with all of the birth moms, and they do a family photo.
Oh, that's the dream.
With all of them, and then they each have. They do have the birth mom with the baby just by themselves and do a photo with them and stuff.
That is the dream.
It is.
That is the dream. Yeah.
It is. And so
just big,
amazing.
Big
yes.
I love that. Oh, that's best.
Yeah.
That's my dream in life.
Yeah.
I should do that. Oh my gosh. Should we plan a photo shoot? Should we plan a photo shoot? I don't know. I'm looking at the microphone as if they can see me in the microphone.
Can we plan a photo shoot?
Birth family. I don't know that they'd want to be together though. Birth father and birth mother.
Yeah. You might have to do two
now.
separate.
Yeah. Two separate. But yeah. So
does your daughter know her siblings?
She does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They came over a couple weeks ago, and
so do they live in Arizona?
They live in Arizona, but they come to Utah
you're in the
a lot.
South.
Yeah.
It's not as
that bad.
far. Yeah.
No, it's not that bad. And the first year that we went back, they were, birth father and birth mother were still together. They were kind of, I don't know, they were still dating a little bit. So we went back that first year, and I remember like him and his mom, they pulled us aside. They pulled Andy and I aside, and they just were like, we're so sorry. Like, we're so sorry for all that we put you through in the hospital. And we're so grateful that like you knew what she needed when we didn't, when we couldn't see that. Like, we're so grateful. And like up until then, it had just been like a little bit tension. The relationship was a little bit, what's the word? Contentious? Maybe not I don't know, whatever. There was tension in the relationship.
There was tension.
So there was tension in the relationship. So up until then, and then as soon as they said that, I was just like, great. Like, let's put this behind us and move forward.
You probably took like a big deep breath and went out and go, okay.
Because now it's not like you're wanting her still. Like, you're wanting to raise her. You've let that go, and you like have embraced us as her parents.
Realize,
yeah. So that was just like such a weight lifted off of me. And
well, too, you probably felt like, oh, did I do the right thing? Did I take the baby away when he wanted? You know, it's a hard place. It's a hard place for you to be in. So, and I'm glad that after the emotions settled, he realized again that that was what was best for her. You know, in that situation. So and that's always a good place, you know,
for sure,
for all of you, for you to
for
feel,
all of us,
to feel like oh, I'm glad I didn't feel like I stole someone's child.
Because it's a weight on you for a while.
I can imagine though. It's not a fun place, but I think that you have so many emotions in it that. And it's a hard thing to do. I mean, like we said, I couldn't do it. No. I really couldn't do it.
No, it's emotions for everybody. All three sides of the triad. It's just wild.
It's hard. And I mean, the path that we got before, our path is harder before, I think, and then theirs is the hard after.
Forever after.
Right? You know, so it's like, I'm not that brave.
Yeah, you're signing up for a lifetime of like these feelings that are hard. Forever.
So to do the best, hard, but to do the best thing for the child.
Yeah. Everybody just had to put aside, and I'm like, if she loves my husband Andy, like she can still love him. Like she can,
there can be
she
a
can
place
love
for
me,
both.
and she can love her, and we, like, she's a mother to her in a way that I'm not. You know, and. She'll always have that. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for it.
Well, there's a place for each of you. Yes, right.
There's room for all.
There is. She can love all of you.
She can love all of us. Yeah. And so it's been just like 7 years. She turned 7 in August, and we see all of them. We see the extended family. We see the siblings. We see the kids. We see birth mom, birth dad. We see everybody. They'll come to our house. We'll go to their house. It's just like the best. I wish we could see them more often. Like, her birth mom came to a t-ball game over the summer and just watched a t-ball game with us. And it was just like this evening. She came a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember why. We watched General Conference together or something. Anyway, she just came to our house with her kids and her mom, and we just all hung out together and had dinner, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
That's what you wanted.
This is what I wanted. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm just so grateful that worked out the way that it did, and that we love each other. And
well, I think that too, because your heart was in a place that it brought it to you, because you wanted to have that kind of relationship. And so then God found you that kind of relationship.
Right.
And so I think that if we have it in our minds that we can have this and yearn for that, and you can pull it to you. So, I mean, with that family I was telling you about, obviously they've done it with that. It's a possibility because they've done it 3 times.
Yeah. Well, and, we just like, that is incredible. And like, that's something to strive for.
Yeah.
But we just signed up with Active Love, like literally just so anyway, I got a hysterectomy in August. Like that's a whole other whatever. But
I can talk to you about that.
Perfect. Yeah, we can talk about that. We talk about it all day.
I have to have one at 30.
Okay, 30. Yeah, and then 33. I just turned 34.
So I had 4 kids from 25 to 30.
Wow, they came fast altogether.
Adopted, all 4 of them adopted. Yeah,
that's fun.
I was done.
It's chaos.
I was done.
It was chaos. Yeah,
it was chaos.
And you're the oldest, right?
Yes, I'm the oldest.
Yeah, so her and her sister, their biological siblings, 10 and a half months apart.
That's awesome.
So,
I bet that's been fun to have like a biological sibling in the house.
And so
it's been
when
really
they were
cool.
growing up, I remember thinking to myself, because they're 10 and a half months apart.
Yeah.
So then the question became, do I keep them in the same grade?
Right. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Right. And so I'm like, all I could imagine was her being mad at me because she was in the same grade as her sister.
Oh, yeah. You thought she wouldn't like that?
She wouldn't have.
No.
So you kept them apart?
Yeah, I don't think it would have worked out.
I had her go to school early, so she was young. In fact, 3 of my kids graduated when they were 17.
Awesome.
Because they were younger. But
I think it was probably for the best that we weren't like together, like in school, in 10th grade.
Believe me, we're fine.
But those are things you have to think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I never would have thought that would be a thing for me. But I'm like, I can see that the older one, she would be very angry when she had teenage years. And
she's like sharing everything with the sibling.
Why am I in the same grade with my sister that's younger than me? And so I'm like, I can't do that. So
that's probably smart though. That's good. Seems like
it paid off, I guess, for her.
Yeah.
But those are things we don't think about.
No.
You know, when they're younger. So
no.
But I've done the hysterectomy thing and all that. It's all fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's good time. So I mean, I was grappling with like, I have this friend. She is just like my best friend. I've never like had somebody that I could be so honest with, almost like a sister, like to where you can just like almost fight, but then you're best friends, like always best friends, but you're a little bit in a tiff. Anyways, I'm just having a pity party because I'm like, okay, now I have to have a hysterectomy. And I'm just like, I wasn't to the hysterectomy point yet, but I was at a point where I was like, I can't keep living like this. Like my cycles were so bad. I was having to get blood transfusions. It was just a whole thing. Horrible. So she's like, we're sitting at this freezing cold baseball game for one of her kids. And she's like, you need to get a hysterectomy and sign up with an adoption agency. And I'm like, you are being so inconsiderate right now. Like, look what I'm going through. Like, that's not what I need to do. And then like the next day I'm like, I think it is actually what I need to do.
Not think about it. You're right.
Actually, all right.
Yeah. So I guess I'll do that.
But only she could have told me that. So Jancy, you're the worst, but I love you. Anyway.
She knew exactly what you needed.
She knew it. Yeah, she knew it. So it was basically the next day I told Andy, I'm like, I think I'm just going to get a hysterectomy and be done with this. Like, cause it's just 13 years of just maybe hoping for a miracle. Like,
see, and that's,
it's torture.
Yeah, it is. It's torture.
It's torture.
Every month.
And people are like, just when you stop stressing, you'll get pregnant and all the things. I'm just like, I don't need your advice.
No,
I just don't need it.
That doesn't work for everybody.
No, it doesn't work for everybody. It works for all of our friends and all of our siblings. Good for you.
Makes you
but
feel
it doesn't
like
work for
you're
me.
the weird one that's broken.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, dude, I've tried the diets. I've tried all the things. Just, I don't need your advice. I love you, but stop.
I remember that. And then if you're married I got married at 18.
Okay. Yeah.
So Utah thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I was 20, I think.
Yeah.
20,
and so, we were married for 5 years.
Yeah.
And people just before asking, when you going to start your family and when you doing this? And I'm just like, and you see all your friends having babies. Like it's the hardest thing.
Yeah. It's the worst.
I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah. It's the worst. Even though I knew in my gut, I knew, but you still are like, you know what? I adopted and then I randomly, a miracle happened and I got pregnant. And I'm like, what if that happened? For 7 years, I waited after our daughter was born.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah. And I just am like, I am done with this. Like, I'm done with all the health complications. I'm done waiting. So scheduled a hysterectomy. I told him it was an emergency. The doctor agreed it was an emergency. So we got it done like right away. And we started the adoption process right then. And like a week after I got out of surgery, I was still recovering, but it was kind of when Active Love was like, hey, you're good to go. Like everything's in and you're good to go. So it was like one door closed and another one has just opened. And then, you know, as you know, we just barely had an adoption fall through, but I still I don't know. I'm just like ready for it. And I think Andy and my husband too, we were both put on this earth, like for adoption. I just have a heart for it and I love it so much. And
well, because I do have to say that not everybody has a heart to adopt.
No. And I don't think you should. If
you don't.
Yeah.
If you
and that's
don't,
okay.
If you can't love the child like it's your child, then please don't.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people. I go, I don't.
Yeah.
Especially because we did interracial adoption. I always would tell people, I'm like, I don't want you to adopt a child that you can't look, that if you see color, don't take that child, please.
For sure.
Because that child deserves to feel loved and be
no
loved.
matter what.
Yeah, no matter.
No matter what.
And for me, I didn't care if she was purple.
Yeah. That's how I feel. You know? On the paper, I'm like, whatever, anything. Yeah, sure.
I don't care what color. It could be
disability, race. I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And so that's whatever's going to get me a baby faster.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, great.
That's what I did. I'm like, I'm going to do whatever. Just call me. I'm there.
Call me. Yeah. And, you know, in the end, like, I don't know. We talk about this. I'm like, I wanted to believe in this adoption process the second time around because we had done IVF. We've done in between when our daughter was born and now.
I didn't do IVF because our insurance didn't cover it.
Yeah, ours didn't either, but you know.
And so it was like we had to decide, and I'm like
adoption or IVF.
Yeah, and I said I'll just do adoption because then I knew at least my money was going to go to something that I would actually get.
Yeah, for sure. Eventually. Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah. And with IVF, it was almost like I didn't want to do it. I think there are some women. I hope this isn't like offensive, but there are some women who like they want to be pregnant and they want that experience. Yeah, I just never had that. Like I don't care. Yeah, how my kids come to me. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like if they're meant to be
they were going to do everything they could to have one biologically.
Yes. And great. Like good for you. Yeah. But that wasn't my path. I did 2 rounds of IVF just to say that I tried. I didn't want regrets later on. Yeah. Like I just didn't want to be like, what if, you know?
Yeah. So you got rid of the
So I just did 2 rounds, which is hell in and of itself.
Yeah.
But then you shut that door and you're not missing out.
No.
It's fine.
Well, because
it's the worst.
So I always was thinking how hard it was each month not being on medication. I couldn't imagine being on medication and going through that.
Yeah. And the first time we did it, I mean, this is kind of a tangent, but the first time we did it, we didn't have, like they told us, okay, we got your embryo and come in for transfer day. And then we drove all the way up. We were living still in Southern Utah. We drove up to Spanish Fork to the clinic, got there, and they were like, it didn't grow, like it didn't mature overnight. So we had driven all the way up there for nothing. So then the next time they transferred 3 embryos and they were just so weak that they transferred all 3 because they were like, there's no way this is going to work. So whatever. But we closed that door, felt good about it. Yeah. Whatever. But adoption just is like the thing that I've wanted to do from the beginning, honestly. Yeah. Like I obviously hoped I could just get pregnant only because it seemed like I don't want to say easier route. It seemed like it might be.
That's what I was like thinking.
I know pregnancy's hard and all that goes along with it. But this is like a lifetime of relationships. Like adoption is a lifetime of hard conversations with your kid.
And going through the adoption process isn't easy.
No.
I mean, there's a
home study. Like,
there's
I could be in the CIA right now.
Yeah, I know.
You could. We all could.
Yeah. There's a lot of paperwork. Well, to work with the agency, we have to have criminal background checks every 6 months.
Do you? Yeah. See, I won't complain about her once a year then. No, all right. Yeah. Okay.
It's like we always have to have it done.
Yeah.
You sound like it's constant.
Yeah. It does, right? There's always something we have to do. Yeah. To work. But it's true. I mean, you have to have a certain type of heart. And
And I don't know. I feel like if you're going into it with the hope of anything good, I mean, I don't know. Most adoptions have a little bit of openness, it seems like now.
Yeah, they do.
Nowadays.
Yes.
But
it's a lot more common now.
Yeah.
It just feels like my dad always told me this growing up, that like love shared is multiplied. It's not divided. So the more love you give, you don't run out. You just get more, you know?
You do.
You just get more. And you can love.
And you get that back.
You get it back. And you can love your kid's birth family.
Yeah.
Like you're like my daughter.
Like your friend.
Like Lo can love her birth mom. And I hope she does. Like, and I know she does. They spend time together and they love each other.
Yeah.
And there's a connection and a bond there, and it's beautiful. And I think just like society tells us that there are these boxes that all these relationships have to fit inside of.
Boxes.
And they just don't. Like, who cares? She can love me and she can love her birth mom. And I can love her birth mom. And I don't need to feel threatened by her at all.
Yeah.
Because we both love Lo. Like, we both love our daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our collective daughter. Like, I love her.
Yeah.
And she loves her. Yeah. And there's no one else in the world that you can send a picture of your kid to who will react the same as their birth parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
She'll love the picture as much as I love the picture, you know? And the birth father too. I'm just
That's true. I didn't think about that.
That's another thing
That's true.
You can send it to grandma and she'll think it's cute and whatever, but
yeah, that's totally different.
It's different. I mean, she's like, oh my gosh, that's the best picture I've ever seen. I'm like, I know, right? It's so good. It's so good.
But
I'm sure that same enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It is your child.
I know. Yeah.
And you're both proud of her. And
Your friends don't care about your kid's Halloween costume. They just don't. I mean, whatever. They can say they do, but they don't. So
not like
that.
No,
not like that.
Not like she would.
So, but anyway, yeah, that's kind of how we got here. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for
telling 4 hours. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what time it is. I didn't keep my watch or anything. So
I mean, if it was 4 hours, it breezed by because
it did. That's what I was like. We're good.
Great.
There you go.
Love that.
Yeah.
So how are you doing with the fall through? Because you did address a little bit.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can tell people about what happens when you have one of those.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was about 2 weeks after our profile became active with Active Love. There was just one, we hadn't put our name because, you know, you guys show us, Active Love shows you all the situations and you can decide if you want your profile presented.
Yes.
To the birth moms to choose who they want for their baby. So anyway, we hadn't said yes to any of them. And then there was this one that was she's just a young mom and she was due any day. And we just felt like, let's go for it. Like, the fees seemed like they were in our price range and, you know, anyway. So we said yes to it. And then like literally the next day they called us and were like, she picked you and she's due any day. So get ready to go to the other state where she's having the baby. So we went, we just like started buying so much baby stuff because we've gotten rid of it all by now. 7 years later.
7 years. You're going to have to buy
7 years later,
anyway, right?
Yeah. All new stuff. I want new stuff. Anyways, I love the shop. So I got new stuff and, we went out to the other state where she was living and got to fly first class, which we've never done because it was last minute and there are no plane tickets available. Got a taste for the good life. And I don't think I can fly coach again.
Oh my gosh.
There goes our bank account. But we went out there and we just kept waiting. Like we kind of expected to just go to the hospital. That was the plan. She kind of wanted us there. That's what she said. She told the agency she wanted us there at the hospital to take care of the baby after it was born. So we got out there and we were just waiting for them to tell us, oh dear, Tara Lee, she went out with us.
Okay.
Went out. So she flew out there with us and she's like, well, she doesn't want you at the hospital quite yet. So just go to the hotel and we'll call you type of a thing. So it was just so fast. Like everything was happening so fast. We just became active. We got picked. We flew out there.
Yeah.
And we had never talked to the birth mom. Still, we haven't to this day, obviously. We never met the baby. But the next day we were just kind of waiting around for them to call us, to tell us the papers had been signed. But she just kept pushing off the attorney coming and she kept just not responding or whatever. And then Tara Lee called and was just like, she changed her mind. She's going to parent the baby, you know, and obviously like you have hope. So you hope it's going to happen. Like you hope it's going to work out. But at the same time, like I loved her too. Like I'd never talked to her, but I loved her. Like I just was like, of course you want to parent your baby. Like who wouldn't, you know? It's just, it's such a weird feeling because you want it for yourself, but I'm also like so happy for you. Like, congrats. I'm glad you have support enough to raise your baby. Like I'm grateful for that for you. happy for you.
Yeah.
And I'm also just like, well, that sucked.
Yeah.
But 24 hours in Seattle and we came home.
Yeah.
So, but I am happy for her, and I'm not mad at I'm not upset at her at all. That's not the emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion is just like, I wonder why that happened. Like, I wonder why we felt like, yes, put your name in on this one and then go out there.
Sometimes it's to prepare you.
Sometimes, yeah. And I hope it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it is. But sometimes you just never know.
Yeah, you don't.
You might never know.
That's the thing with adoption is you never know. And
Yeah,
then
you might
to
never
let
know.
people know after a fall through, then we just start showing you again.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just
and
roll you back over to
Yeah.
getting shown again until you're picked.
Yeah.
But I think that too, I think that talking on the phone seems to do better if they're willing to have a discussion.
Like
As far as a connection, yes, with the adoptive family.
Because it happens so fast. Like
Yes.
she was due the week she picked us, and we never talked. Still to this day, we haven't talked.
Yeah, you didn't get to talk to her over the phone. So.
They sent us, like, they forwarded us a text that she had sent about us.
Yeah.
And it was so sweet. Like, just like that it had nothing to do with us. And it was just all about the baby. And, you know,
Yeah.
but that's all. So
Yeah.
when Jessica was like, are you sure you're okay to still come on the
I know.
podcast?
That's what
I'm like, it honestly feels like a dream. Like, it just feels like
it was so
it was
fast.
so hard, but it was so fast. Like, I just know that there are failed adoptions that are much more drawn out than that and a lot more emotional because there is a relationship there.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is you just have to pick yourself up and keep going. Like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't dwell on it forever.
No.
And if you can channel the disappointment into like being happy for birth family,
Yeah.
then it's like, well, great. Good for them. You know,
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier.
a little easier. Yeah. If you can just like with life, anything is better if you just don't focus on yourself.
Yeah. That's
Honestly.
true, right.
If you can just focus outward, it just makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway.
keep yourself busy.
Yeah, keep yourself busy. But we're just like, okay, let's on to the next thing.
Yeah,
so
right.
keep showing us and let's get this show on the
that's
road.
what will happen. Yeah, they'll just keep showing you until you get selected again.
Yeah.
So
But now there's going to be like this whole other emotion that's like, oh dear, is she going to change her mind?
yeah, because you had one.
But it's fine. It just is life. So
I had, like I told you, I had one fall through. So
yeah,
yes,
yours
it is
seems excruciatingly
It
more
was
harder.
difficult.
Like more harder. Oh dear. Harder.
Yeah,
So sorry.
it was difficult.
This is not me. I am the grammar.
You're good.
Harder. But yeah, yours seemed like a lot harder. Ours was just so fast and we were so disconnected from her.
Yeah.
It almost didn't feel real.
Yeah. And so yeah. So maybe that's why it was a little bit easier to
Maybe.
get.
Yeah. We
through
learned lessons too from it. Like, I wouldn't tell anybody again. Like, I don't think I'll tell anybody because we had told quite a few people that this was happening.
Yeah.
Well, we needed our parents to keep our daughter, and we had told our daughter. And so just like, I honestly was so unemotional at the hospital when Tara Lee called and told us that she changed her mind. We just like booked a flight, started packing. We didn't talk. We just, it was numb. Like, it was just the most numb feeling. I didn't feel anything. I didn't cry. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then when we got home at like 3 a.m. the next day, and my daughter was sleeping in my bed. My mom had just put her to sleep in our bed. So she was in our bed when we got there. And she's like, can I see baby sister? And I'm like,
Oh.
and then I just started bawling. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I will never tell you again until papers are signed. Like, that honestly was the worst part of the whole thing.
Yeah, that
Like,
would be hard.
Untelling everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Untelling everybody and then having people ask. Just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's the worst.
No, that would be very hard. So I didn't have to do that with my.
Was it your first adoption that failed then?
Yeah, it was our first.
Okay.
So it was our first. And so then that's why when I said with her, my husband's like, only thing I say is it has to be closed. And I had to fill out all the paperwork and he just signed it.
Yeah.
So I did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. It feels bad to say that because it makes it feel like they don't care or they don't want to be part of it.
It was how he protected himself.
Yeah,
which
it's
I
just different.
understood
Didn't
because
wanna
For sure.
go through all those emotions.
Yeah, because it was so painful to go through it the first time and have her name the baby and
Yeah.
the same name that we picked and everything. But yeah, it was
I
difficult.
cannot imagine.
But then by getting her, I got her sister because they're biological siblings. So it was like a twofer.
It's the details.
Yeah.
It's all in the details.
Yeah, it was.
True.
2 for 1.
Always.
It was. Look, I wish it cost that much. But
Dang it. Can't have it all.
I can. I'll take that though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but yeah.
But it does work out. And I think if you can just go into anything in life being like, what's meant to be will be.
Yes.
If you can just make yourself believe that, whether you think it in the moment or not. Just
That's totally true though.
what's meant to be will be.
Yeah.
Everything just happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Good and bad. Like, that's
Good and
just
bad.
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It'll either, kill you or make you stronger. And we're all still here. So I guess it's
Making us stronger.
making us stronger. We'll tell ourselves that.
It gives us more compassion.
I think so. Yeah.
So
I think so.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. You're
And I
welcome.
truly
Thanks for having me.
appreciate it. And I hope you have tons of fun
Thanks.
up in the cold Park City.
Freeze our little butts off. We'll
I
just
hope
stay
you brought
inside.
really warm clothing
I'm like, let's just stay inside. We'll watch the football game. We'll just grill at the house.
and hot chocolate and stuff and just enjoy rest. Sounds good.
I know. It doesn't
Sounds
sound
relaxed. Sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's like the trip we look forward to every year. It's
Yeah,
so
because
fun.
you don't really have to do.
We don't have to do anything.
See, that's what's nice.
Those are the
Take
best.
care of.
Those are the nicest ones.
Yeah.
I like the hotels though, because then you don't have to cook
Yeah, that is nice.
or
But
clean up.
the boys love to grill and
Well, as long as they're cooking.
they're fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but if you want to, go for it.
More power to you.
you go for it. I am not touching one utensil though. I don't do it at home, and I'm definitely not doing it here.
Just your fork. That's the only one that you're going to use.
Just the fork. We eat out like almost every meal, so it's not that big a deal.
So then the grilling's good then.
The grilling's fine. Yeah. For one football game or whatever.
Yeah. What football game?
The BYU Utah game's tomorrow.
Okay.
I didn't realize that it was.
And so who are you voting for?
I don't honestly care.
I should
No,
say.
I don't care at all. No, I don't care.
My husband's a Ute fan. I'm BYU.
Okay. Yeah. That should be BYU. My grandparents went there. My dad went there. Like, it's kind of in my blood, but I just don't care. Can't make myself care. I care about the Chiefs
Okay.
because I care about Taylor Swift. But
oh my
there you go.
that's it. That's the
That's
only
your
football
excuse to watch.
Yes.
Because her
I'm like,
boyfriend
Andy,
won.
look it up. Is she going to be at the game? Okay, then I'm in.
You don't like football. See, both my boys played football, so we were a huge football family.
We're more
Yeah.
baseball.
Okay.
I love football. I love the atmosphere of football. I love the parties that go with football.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
fun.
always like the best food and like the best energy.
Tailgating.
And
Yeah. It's like fall. It's just the best. But my husband is the high school baseball coach.
Oh.
And we try to go to like a new MLB stadium every year. And we're baseball mostly. We're mostly baseball.
I'm sorry.
But all the sports are all the sports. You mean baseball? You don't like baseball?
No, I don't. I'm
No,
sorry.
they,
I have
my
such a
brothers
hard
played
time.
for like one season.
Really?
And I went to like 2 games and I was like bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
That is just
I think
so
it's-
slow.
I think it's boring until you, like I honestly felt the same way. I coached volleyball for the high school for a while and I'm just like, volleyball's so much more exciting. Like there's something happening all the time.
Yes.
But baseball, it just feels so slow. And then when my husband became the head coach, I started doing the book and I started hearing all the strategy and then I saw it better and I'm like hooked now. Like,
I'm
hooked on the strategy.
You know all the details.
Yes,
I know the
you actually
details
like
of it.
but I felt the same way. I'm like, this
It's just
is
like,
so
this is
boring.
taking
Yeah.
forever. Come on.
I'll go to the
9
stadiums and get a
innings.
half. I think this is boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
9 innings and then no one makes a run. No one
I
gets.
know. It's like soccer. I can think of nothing worse. I do not want to watch soccer. No one's
I don't
scoring.
watch soccer.
No.
We were football and basketball growing up. That's
Yeah.
it.
We love basketball. We go to all the high school stuff.
Yeah.
Because we know the kids now.
Yeah. Well,
that
that's
makes it fun.
Just,
Yeah. It's way more fun when you have somebody to root for.
Yeah.
BYU, Utah, I don't know anybody, so I don't really care.
No, and it's just fun because it's
A rival.
it's always what it has been.
And it's always just one big game a year where everybody.
I mean, I'll root for the Utes if they play anyone else because it's a Utah team.
For sure. 100%.
Unless they go against BYU. And BYU has actually done better this year because we were losing.
I've heard that BYU's
We were
doing
losing.
good. Yeah.
Well, even years.
doing
I mean, years in the past, we were every time we went against the U, we'd lose.
Yeah. I know. But I might be a
Last
fan
year we
this
won.
year because they're winning. So for the larger fan, we'll just do it. Yeah. But yeah, they're having a good season. But
Yeah, they are. They are. Okay, we'll let you go because I keep yapping.
no, it's good.
I mean, if you want to come back and just hang out, you can do that too.
Let's do it. Should we go to lunch?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys can help me with, I'm sure you could help me with all my problems. Yeah. I'm gonna get the vibe from you. You have good advice.
Just,
Really
just
good
good
advice.
energy.
Good energy.
She is, though. She's
You guys have good energy.
Come too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys for a Coke one of these days.
Oh my
I'll
God,
call you
sure.
when I come back.
Go get a swig.
Yeah, since you come every year.
Yeah, we come every year. We come up here a lot just for random. This is better shopping in Southern Utah.
Yeah, you can just reach out. Oh, I'm coming there.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Let's go hang
Should
out.
we chat on the podcast again, or do you want to meet me at Swig?
Swig.
Do you guys have like 18 of those fundraiser cards in your wallet at all times? Like, I feel like all the kids do Swig fundraisers.
We don't have anyone. I don't have any young kids. I mean,
okay.
she's 30.
Our cousins.
I have like nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
But they don't do. They
haven't done Swig. We haven't had Swig for a long time. We get like
if you need a Swig gift card, I have.
really?
them.
We have stupid ones
Like
that
what?
you don't ever use that have like coupons for like a pizza place you don't ever go to or
Oh, yeah. You don't want that crap. No. You don't want that garbage.
but I still buy them just to support them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But
I
I
keep
don't
saying
use-
yes.
I don't.
Do you want like 4,000 ounces of soda? Because I have it in my purse right now.
Well, see, and that's the thing though, is I feel bad because my kids, when they were doing fundraisers, people would support them. So now I got to support
You
their
have to
kids,
do it. Yeah.
you know.
Pay it
So
forward. You get to pay it
I
forward.
get to pay it forward. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. But you guys, I'm going to give you one. I'm not kidding. I bet I have
You're
10.
kidding, right?
I have one in my wallet. You can have it right now.
No.
Not a swig and get a drink today.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
serious. I have so many.
We
So
love
many.
Is that all they ever do down
I
there?
live in Southern Utah. There's not even a swig by me. I live in the mountains. That one has some checked off.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
the only one I have in my purse.
Oh, that's
Anyway.
awesome. Are you sure you want to give it to
Yeah,
us?
I
then?
do. I'm not kidding. I have 10.
You guys don't even have a swig by you?
We live, let me tell you, we live in Paiute County,
Okay.
Okay.
and its population is like 1,500 people in the whole county.
Oh my gosh.
So our town has like 400 people,
Oh my goodness.
and I love it. Like, it's so peaceful and just, everybody.
What town do you live in?
It's called Circleville.
Circle.
It's kind of by Bryce Canyon.
Okay. Oh, I
It's-
love Bryce Canyon.
It's beautiful. Like, it's called Circleville because it's surrounded by mountains.
Yeah.
That must
And
be
it's
gorgeous.
it's so pretty, and it's all the people are just so nice. I just love it. So anyway, but
You're happy where you're at.
yes, we love it.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be a small town girl. I just love the city.
Yeah.
I tried to convince my husband to move to New York or San Francisco for the first like 6 years of our marriage. I just thought it'd be so fun to have an adventure.
Yeah.
But now we're here, and the world gets crazier every day.
Right,
And so
and
I
you're
just
like
feel safe. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the
I just feel good. Yeah.
You're surrounded by your
mountains.
I know every teacher at the school. I know every coach. I just
Oh,
love
that's
it.
awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
She can go run out. Like my daughter can just run around.
We live in Sandy, which is not small by any means.
Yeah.
And so I would love to go to a small. I'm
Come
not
on down.
that
There's a lot right next to us.
Is there?
I,
Okay.
I don't think they're going to sell it to you, but we'll find a different one. Okay. I've got to backtrack. I'm not trying to sell your lot, Jim and Mary. We'll go next door. I'm like so worried about who's going to listen to this. We'll find you a different lot.
Sounds good.
You guys can come to Circleville.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
Circleville. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have my husband.
Yeah.
Go check out Circleville. See what
It's
it's
the
about.
home of Butch Cassidy's childhood home.
Oh, is it really?
So that's a
Well,
selling
there you go.
That is.
There are no restaurants. So there's one restaurant, Butch Cassidy's Cafe, but that's it.
How far away then where do you go grocery shopping and stuff?
So there's this cute little store called Stan's on Main Street. It's like a mercantile. So you can get everything from like nails to milk in this tiny little store. And then you have a tab and you just write your name on the tab. And then at the end of the month, you pay it. So cute. I know, it's so cute. It's honestly like idyllic. Heather and Alan, I love you. Anyway, so that's like so cute. Yeah. And so if we really want to like do big grocery shopping, we'll go to St. George and go to Costco.
And how far away is St. George from you?
It's like 2 hours.
Okay.
So we go to Costco but Cedar City is only an hour away.
okay.
So we can go to
That's not bad.
Walmart if we
Yeah.
want. And Richfield is about 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're not too far from
Not like living in the middle of nowhere, but
Yeah.
it definitely feels like it when
it.
you need like a
Costco.
work project due the next day and you are like, okay,
And you have
well,
to drive 2 hours away.
yeah, I can get nails or bullets or milk from Stan's, but I'm not sure I can get like craft supplies.
Like a poster board.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can get any of that. So,
That's horrible too, though.
but it's fun.
But that's great.
It's good.
Yeah, that sounds like what I would. And big property land.
Yeah, it's an acre.
Okay.
Our house is on an acre.
Yeah.
So we have like a greenhouse and I grow flowers in it only because I hate vegetables. I'm not going to weed a vegetable garden. But I'll weed a flower
We
garden.
have a garden, and we do a lot of herbs, though.
Yeah, I should do that. I could probably do herbs, but I'm not motivated by vegetables. I'm motivated by the flowers. So I'll weed the flowers. But We have a chicken coop. We don't have chickens in it yet.
Chickens.
Do you?
I do.
I'm nervous. We built it and it's cute.
Well, my husband was raised on a farm.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had chickens and he hates them.
Oh, yeah.
But getting our own eggs is something that I would like to do.
It feels like a good preparedness
That's
thing.
where I'm at. Okay. So
And it feels like you know
there.
where it's coming from, too.
Yes,
like, I don't know where the stories are coming from.
No, we don't.
But sometimes I kind of like that. Ignorance is bliss. Maybe I don't want to know where they come from.
No, you don't.
I just don't, that kind of stuff I just don't think about.
She doesn't have to because I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want to have it just for an emergency situation.
That's what I think too. So that's what I think too. It's a good a protein source.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we do the herbs because
That's smart. Yeah.
I look into the herbs that are healing, have healing properties. And we grow stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you need it, stuff like that.
That is cool. Okay. I'll grow some herbs.
Okay.
Maybe a carrot or something, but I'm not doing anything.
You don't need
with
the
flowers.
vegetables. Just do chamomile.
Chamomile?
Pretty flowers, pretty white flowers.
Oh, and you can use them.
Exactly.
Okay. Can you like make chamomile tea?
Yes.
Lavender? Okay. Yeah.
And lavender.
Okay.
Yeah. Lavender's really good for sleeping and everything.
Okay.
You can grow those. And it's a pretty purple flower.
Okay. I could do that. I could still, because I cut them and then I'll just like take the vases around to neighbors or whoever, whatever. The one year I was like the church leader for the, are you guys LDS? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Primary. I was the primary president. And so I gave each of the kids like a vase and they could just come fill it up whenever they wanted to, like cut the flowers.
That's nice.
It was the best. And then they would come over and I'd get a chat with them. Like the flowers provide a door into like people's lives.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Well, see, if you did a herb garden, it'd be the same.
Yes, I can share herbs for sure.
You totally could.
Sourdough, whatever. We'll do it.
Sourdough.
I'm going to be a farmer.
Hey, be a farmer.
Circle has changed me in the last 4 years. I'm a new woman.
See, we'll have to go there and see. Okay, go ahead. Close it up.
All right. Well, thank you, Kaylee, so much for sharing with us your story. And seriously, anytime, you're welcome back. Just wanna have a
Thanks.
chat
Great.
So it's great.
Bring sweet cards.
Yeah, I'll bring all the sweet cards, a stack of them. We'll go get a Coke. Okay.
Yeah, do the Coke.
Okay. And if you or anybody you know have any questions or want information about adoption, you can visit our website at www.activeloveadoptions.com.